Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on Facebook Live here in 2019. Happy New Year.
Yeah, our first after show of 2019.
Yeah. Yes. We're glad you're with us this morning. Thanks so much. And we want to get right to it. If your New Year's resolution is to get your life together, I mean, that's mine every year, right? We can all agree on that. That's fine. But you may have some time depending on how old you are. A new study says you should have life figured out by the time you turn 39.
That's interesting.
Bad news for some, good news for others. That's not all, though. The study goes on to say by 29, you should have a secure and reliable group of friends.
Okay.
By age 31, you should have met the one.
Wow.
I feel like that's kind of young. But earlier, Emma said that she was already married by 24.
Yeah.
And that's mind-blowing. But, you know, again, for some, that may be a little bit older. Okay, and get this. Most people said they don't feel secure in their career until age 35, which I think that one's right on the nose.
Yeah.
I think that one's probably pretty appropriate. So when do you think you should have your life together, or when did you get everything figured out? We want to know what you think. We had some comments earlier in the show, people teasing, saying, you know, at 70 and 80, they're still trying to figure it out.
I would say, yeah, do you ever figure it out? And then a lot of that's got to depend on the career, right?
Sure.
And on, you know, maybe your goals for family and everything like that.
Well, and so let's say this. Let's say you do get it together by 39 and then 50 hits and you have a midlife crisis. You get the little red car.
Start all over.
You start all over.
Yeah.
So you have about 11 years, just over a decade to enjoy. I mean, right?
Getting it together.
What does together really mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, does that mean buying a car, getting married,
owning a home?
Family.
Yeah, like going grocery shopping and buying for the whole week.
Right. Okay, so that's
a simple thing.
That's one thing my reliable group of friends teases me about. They say every time you're hungry, you just go to the store and then buy something.
Yeah.
You don't ever have any food in your house. I said, well, yeah, because it goes bad, and then I feel wasteful. And so maybe having your life together is just being responsible when it comes to grocery shopping.
Yeah, or making dinner. Like, does that mean you make dinner every night of the week? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of things that we consider adulting.
Sure.
Being an adult, paying all your bills.
Yeah, some people, my little sister, paying your bills on time, having your life together. So that's fair. So we want to know what you think. I'm still punching it up. Do we have any comments?
Yeah, no, we have people already chiming in. So AJ says 24.
Okay.
He feels... I don't know what Daniel's talking about, but he says 12. Maybe he was just trying to say hi to us.
Hi, 12.
Matthew said 18. I think that's young, in my opinion.
18.
Because I feel like you're still figuring out life at
you may not even know what you want to do for your career.
After
Maybe you're
high
still going to
school.
college.
Yeah.
Or you don't,
Sure.
Barry said 55 and still working on it. Okay.
Okay, see.
Chris Harvey said 40. Dwayne said he's still trying to do that.
Exactly. I mean, like we said, it's kind of a sliding scale. You're always working on something. Even if you have your life together, you have a spouse, a home,
you have a new
kids,
goal
dog.
or a new dream.
You set new goals, or you know, you're trying to, you know, instill better values in your children, or whatever the case may be. So you're constantly working on it.
So Ashley said, and this is what Emma was saying, this way, this day and age is 40. So the way that things are now, I agree, like a lot of people, or she was saying she agrees with 39 to 40, because we were saying a lot, we did reports in the past where millennials are still living at home with their parents until their late 20s.
And some doing so because they have to, others doing it to save money. I mean, mixed bag of reasons why, which is odd. You know, we said, well, we moved out, but then for us, that was probably pretty late, living at home until 23.
Yeah, I moved out after I graduated college.
I would still live with my mom if I could. But
I don't think I would do that.
I would. She's great. And you know what? She's a flight attendant, so she's never home.
Oh, my goodness.
The best kinds of roommates, right?
Yes.
And she makes the coffee bold.
How old were you when you moved out?
Right after college, so yeah, like 22,
About 22, 23.
Yeah.
So then, see, for us, that was all pretty normal. You
Yeah.
know? But it just depends on the circumstance. Like Crystal said, it depends on your career path. You know, getting into this and knowing exactly what you want to do. I wish I knew that I wanted to do this at 18.
Yeah.
But that didn't come until a little bit later. So it just depends. Jerry knew at 14.
Wow.
Retired at 50.
What's your
wow,
secret?
Retired at 50.
Oh my gosh, what is Chloe said? Chloe said, you think at 27 or so you have it together, but bam, you have kids. She said, I'm 40 with 4. My life is together, but it's crazy with 13 to 4-year-olds.
Wow, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and it's a lot of learning, right? Once you bring a little child into this world, like, that's like a whole getting it together, a whole new getting it together.
Yes, that's what I want. Okay, like my parents stand by, because you're going to be having to help and answer. Oh, my brother just called me. Maybe he was going to say, get your life together. I'm sure. Thanks, Brooks. He has his life together. You know what? I'm really proud of my brothers. I'll say this, speaking of having their lives together. I mean, great jobs. They married up. They have beautiful wives, and then beautiful children, each almost with 2. Preston is due, his wife is due in 2 weeks. So we're gonna get a nephew. Yes, I'm so excited. So no names yet, but they said that, if they had to choose, they could fill out the birth certificate. Tell us what it is.
Ruth has a funny comment. She said, my ex is 68 and still does not know what he wants.
68? My ex.
Meaning like commitment wise? Like is he not sure if he wants to commit, or like job wise? Like explain further, Ruth. Tell us what you want.
Yeah,
you're sharing here.
Tell us more. Let's see. Oh, firefighter, paramedic, great career choice, if anybody's wondering. That's Jerry. Okay. And then Perry said, I was hoping to have my life together before I was 50, but it didn't work out that way for me, so I don't know when it will happen.
Christina said, I'll get my life together after the kids move out.
That's pretty good. That's some good stuff. Well, think about it. Send us your comments on when you think you should have it all figured out, or maybe you just do little baby steps. Maybe you want to have a house by the time you're 30. I mean, I think that would have been great, but that time has come and gone. And I'm still a proud renter. In fact, I forgot to pay my rent yesterday on the 1st.
You know what? Speaking of all that, too, I forgot. I went out of town for New Year's, and I didn't pay my I didn't pay the bills.
Everyone's just like, I have no care in the world. You're eating whatever you want.
So I will be doing that today.
Well, we can see who still has to get their acts together.
Hey,
that's true.
You just forget some things, Like because I still do some the old school way, sending them out with money orders. Only a few.
Wow. Do you?
Yeah, and then I do some online.
That's actually a secure way of doing it.
I want to make sure that the money's already out of my account and
gone.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about it.
That's too funny. Oh my gosh.
And just a reminder for those of you that are tuning into the show for the first time, this is our light news show on Facebook. We're not talking about hard news. We're not talking about serious issues. It's fun and light, and it's just for you to kick off your morning in a good way with something fun to talk about.
All that other stuff happens from 4:30 to 7. It's a 2.5-hour window where we cover the other stories, and then of course 7:25, 7:56, and so on and so forth.
We have all the cut-ins.
And then 4, 5, 6, and 10. And the list goes on and on and on. Keep sending us those comments. But we want to tell you, we understand that everybody's still on holiday break, and that's really specific to the students that you have living under your roof, hopefully not the 28-year-old ones. And something fun to do is get out to Chandler and go to the Arts Center where they're having the Circus. In case you missed it, take a look at this.
Left hand there.
The right hand up here.
Right hand here.
This foot.
Give me this foot.
And jump.
Whoa.
On your knees.
On my knees. Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Okay.
He's doing it with a microphone.
Right hand.
Let us hold the microphone.
Yeah, you get the mic.
He signed that paperwork.
Grazie. Ciao, everybody. Ciao. This is for you.
Take the show.
Bravo. Grazie.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Zope Italian Family Circus, everyone. Chandler Center for the Arts is where you can check it out.
Until January 6th. Oh, God.
Will.
Here he goes. Oh, he's got it.
We standing?
Is it gonna go?
Oh my.
This is horrifying. You would never do it.
Of course I will.
I still would. Yeah, wait.
Right, we're about to ride the horse.
Here he goes.
And here he goes. Roman riding. Are you ready to join the circus?
Where there's a
Bravo,
will.
look at this with the finesse. One hand up in the air. Wow.
There's a way. Bravo.
Will Pitts, everyone.
Yeah.
You can check him out at the Family Circus as well.
No.
What happens when the horses start to
Solo
separate?
pasta.
Let's get the splits.
Hope you can do the splits, yeah.
Instead of Will Pitts, it's Will Splits. Yeah.
You're not going to get any more genuine reaction than those two. Emma and I making puns at the desk while Will is literally like chancing his life on horseback.
God.
Will
on
splits.
his 2 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, start hashtagging it now.
Exactly. Oh, that's so good. And how much fun. The tickets vary from $15 to $40, and it's open until Sunday the 6th, again in Chandler. And that family's been doing it forever.
Yeah,
and
she
they
said it's one of the oldest shows
One
around.
of the oldest
So fascinating.
shows. Yeah. And then you can really connect with the audience, and they do the aerial acrobatics and all kinds of great stuff. And that they have clowns, but she specified they're not the clowns you might think, which that could vary
Some
too,
people are
much like
scared of.
when you have your life together type of thing. Yeah, the scary clown. Probably not like Stephen King's clown.
No, this is a
Not
very
at this
funny.
particular- Yeah, very lighthearted, getting out of the Volkswagen over and over and over again.
And where is it at again?
It's in Chandler. It's
Chandler.
at the Center of the Arts there in Chandler. So you can do that for the rest of the week if your kids are still out of school. So that'll be fun.
That's exciting.
Something fun to do.
We still have more people chiming in. We have a lot.
About when you get your life together.
Yeah.
I've never been to the circus, so I'd say my life is far from complete.
Together.
This is true. I've not either.
No, I've never been.
Really?
Yeah.
I went to the Cavalia with the horse.
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't really a circus, but
That was
really cool.
I went to that too. That
Like
was
cool
horses.
show,
Yeah, great
entertainment,
show, yeah.
and things like that. That's cool.
Well, you guys have to get to the circus.
Oh, I'm going. I've been told that we're going there. So I can't wait because you don't know what to expect.
That's good. Okay, so we were asking you, at what age do you think you should have your life together? So a lot of people are chiming in. It said, Colleen said, how do you define having your life together? I think everyone will have a different definition for it. Carol said, being grown-ups means you have responsibilities and being a self-starter and finishing what you start. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Terry Britton says, does that ever really happen? You're continually growing, so I get it, And everybody basically just said there can't be a standard age. Marcus says you have people in their 40s that handle responsibilities like a child. Then there's other people on the end of the spectrum that are in their 20s who truly know what they want because they've had to handle their adult responsibilities since they were a teenager.
Okay, so that's a really good point. That's what I was going to mention is that, it depends on the people and the influencers in your world too.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you have to learn and at what age you're having to do that, and with parents who work and you have kids and teens at home taking care of each other. I mean, that teaches you a lot of responsibility or a lot of punishment, depending on how you handle it while your parents are away. So it's good because it helps you grow up quickly. So it just depends on your circumstance too.
It's a lot of people are. Heather said 35 with the smiley face. She likes the age 35. Carmen said never. Always keep growing and evolving. I like that. Let's see. Bud said that's a hard question since everyone is different, but I would have to say 28. Amy says 30. Okay. Justin said I had my life together at age 24 and now I'm 32 and my life is in shams.
I'll tell you this.
He did put LOL, so it's the only reason I laughed. I'm not too sure why it is.
If you're looking for people who have their lives together, you get on a dating app. Everybody there is an outdoorsy person who loves to play golf and swim and hike, and they have a great job. And, they're just looking for someone to have companionship with. And I'm like, me too. Put me down on that too.
Yeah, it's like the question. It's like, where would you be after work? You're like at the gym working out every day.
Totally.
You're at happy hour.
And my perfect athletic wear. What is that? That video in my active wear, crossing the street. I'll post it.
I don't know any, your movie quotes or anything that you have figured out.
Well, then we'll move forward with fresh squeezed juice, shall we?
All right. So how many of you, speaking of dating, how many of you research a person you met on a dating website before going out with them? So a study says about 77% of Americans stalk their prospective mates' online profile on a regular basis and spend about 15 minutes digging up info on them. Women are twice as likely to look at everything. About 60% say they've backed out of a date based on what they found. The top thing was criminal background, followed by personality. Pictures and videos were the last on the list. That's interesting. And it is true. I've heard tons of people when they've talked about dating now that they do look up a person's background information.
And then go ahead and cancel the date.
Yeah, but why wouldn't people who are hiring look you up on social media? So why wouldn't you, especially in this digital age, right, where people can pretend to be who they're not? Why not fact check a little bit?
It's not a bad safety precaution. If it is a stranger, and I mean, you're taught all these years growing up, okay, don't talk to strangers, don't get in cars with strangers, don't go anywhere with them, and then now we're like, oh well, they're attractive and we have a lot of things in common, the outdoorsy hiking. So why not? So that's interesting. I think the furthest I've gone with looking up a date was like looking on their Facebook, and usually that stuff's blocked anyway, and I don't really go beyond that.
Well, one of my girlfriends, we were just talking over the weekend, and she found she matched with the person on one of the dating apps, and so he didn't say anything about like kids or marriage or whatever, and so she looked him up on Facebook. He was recently divorced with 3 kids. Now, I think that's something that you should disclose on your dating app a little bit, just to say that you have kids, because that's not what she was looking for. But
that's kind of
and then she found it on there, and so she didn't go on the date with him.
Well, and then you're questioning like their honesty and loyalty and things of that nature. And it's like if you don't have that to begin with, then what's really gonna stem from that?
Yeah, just put it out there. Unless maybe if they went on the date, then he would have told her, that information. But that stopped her from going on the date with him anyway.
Yeah. Wow. And then criminal background. That's a tough one. Maybe there should be an app for criminals.
For dating?
Yeah.
Dating
They call it cellmates.
Is it just me or has dating got way more complicated?
Oh,
I've been married since I was 22, so I've long
22? Even before Emma
even
got
before
married.
Emma. So long past the...
We have such good role models in this building. That's
date.
awesome.
I'm like, it's so complicated.
It is so common. If you went back out into the dating world, you'd be blown away. You'd be like,
puppy.
this is not cool.
I'm telling you.
At all.
Yeah, that was a 2-week stint that I never want to relive again. That was like, it came and went really quick. So
Lucky for you.
I like you. Come claw in. I'm going to keep you.
You're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes.
The good ones are out there, but they're tough to find. Sometimes they find you if you're lucky. So
Yeah, I mean, that's funny. The whole topic talking about the new year, it came up a lot with a lot of my friends because I mean, there's a big group of us that are still single and everybody, maybe we're too picky. I don't know. Maybe we've reached, because we are older, there's certain things that we know that we have to have in a relationship versus like when you're younger, I think you look past some of the things, So, definitely looking up a person's background, I think on Facebook and social media is a good thing to do before you go on a date because you find out a lot about that person.
Yeah, you can dodge some bullets before you.
Maybe some people still have girlfriends. Maybe they have all their pictures, their ex-girlfriends on there, or ex-boyfriends. Right. So you find out what they do on the weekends.
Right.
Like if you have the same interests. So I think it is a good thing. What happened?
You guys are just joking now. 16, have your life together. You don't even have a car.
What?
How are you gonna go get your life if you don't have wheels? You can't. You guys are just teasing us, pulling our leg. Okay, 20s are a grinding decade, 30 is a building decade, and 40s are a retire and relax decade.
Retire?
Brandon, what do you do?
Retire
at 40.
If I retire at 40, that's going to be a good life.
I probably won't even get married till I'm 40. Retire.
Jose says, never. I've been with my wife for 20 years and I'm 42. #happy. And who gets to define together? Kathy says.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Who gets to define? Because if you asked any one of us, who each of us respectfully lead very different lives, and we would probably all say that I have it together. I mean, we all are still stretching for more goals, but I mean.
But we wake up every morning, we go to our job.
Go
on
to
time
work.
for the most part.
Has anyone seen Miss Cole? The show starts in 10 seconds. Okay.
You show up running. There you are.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate it. The first after show of the new year, 2019, is going to be a good one. Stick to those resolutions. You can do it in baby steps. And the today's show is detailing how to stick to those resolutions. Ooh. So tune into that right after our 7:56 cut-in.
Yeah. Do your background check on your on your match on your app.
Oh, goodness.
Be careful.